I hope you're having a good day. Really, Panda? Really? You're so cute! Oh my god! She wanted today. What's on my face right now? This is what I decided to film for you guys today. I went in depth with the foundation, the steps that I do to achieve a flawless face, to make it last all day, because I don't do touch-ups really. I also talk about how I achieve purple eyebrows, colored brows, that kind of stuff, what products I use for them. But yes, I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you're having a good day. Continue watching for the rest of the tutorial, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys! Hi! So, this is me with absolutely no makeup. I'm just going to clip my hair back. I don't know if I feel like wearing a headband, because I feel like this color will be really distracting. Probably. So, just so I don't play with my hair like 1,000 times and that get annoying, I'm just gonna clip that back. And I've already moisturized my face, by the way. And I use Clinique hydrating gel. I am going to prime my face. And a side note, for those of you that want to know my skin type, I do indeed have oily skin. Very, very oily. In the wintertime it does like get a little dry, that's why I moisturize it a little bit better. And the primer that I'm using, I'm absolutely in love with, is the Cover FX mattifying primer. And I dispensed a little bit on my hand over here, and I'm just picking up some with my other hand, and I'm dabbing it in my face, or pressing it in my face, rather than like rubbing it in, because you really want it to get into fine lines and create a nice barrier between your makeup and your skin. And I'm just going to take my nose ring out to avoid getting makeup on it, and that way you can see it better. So I'm just taking the remainder of the primer around my face. So I am using the Marc Jacobs Remarkable foundation. I believe my color is in like 12. It's not the lightest because that's too pink for me, and it's the second lightest shade. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of the foundation and just kind of, with a foundation brush, I'm going to dot it on my face. Go in, mine is very dirty, but I did just wash it, I promise. So I did notice I didn't even say what it's called, but I'm using the Real Techniques version of a beauty blender. It works just the same way as a beauty blender would, and for the price you can't beat it. And I am doing purple eyebrows today, so I am going to kind of take some concealer. This is Eve Pearl, and this is the Dual Salmon? The Dual Salmon, however you want to pronounce it, the Dual Salmon Concealer. So it just has two little sides to it, and that's what it looks like. So all I did here was pounce my sponge into the lightest shade of the concealer and put a little bit on my eyebrows, so that way the eyeshadow will blend into my face better. The Kat Von D Star-Studded palette. Ta-da! This is what it looks like, and I'm going to use this purple and then also this blue. Joining that is going to be Sugarpill's Poison Plum. I have a little quad like this, and it has seen better days, but obviously I'm using the purple. The Stila number 10 brush. Very thin, angled brush. To the Kat Von D palette and use the bluer color on that row, because it's the darkest and most pigmented color. So I'm going to use that to like outline my brows, if you will. So just like I said, all I'm doing is outlining my eyebrows with that darker blue shade from the Kat Von D palette. It is acting like a outline, a border. It's the same thing I would do if I was using an eyebrow pencil to get a nice sharp line on my eyebrows and then go back through and fill them in with color. So I'm just using light strokes and building the color up, making it more lighter in the front and darker in the back, but building the color up as I go. Oh yeah, that's sexy, isn't it? Beautiful. Looking good. So now I'm just filling in the eyebrows, like I said, mixing all those shades together to get the perfect shade that I want for my eyebrows. So we've done eyebrows, we've carved them out. They're the shape that we want. They're not supposed to be twins, they're supposed to be like distant cousins. And I haven't played around with like other colors of eyebrows. I mean, my hair is purple, so obviously I'm only going to do purple brows. But I mean, maybe I will tie them into makeup looks and such. But all I'm doing, there's nothing on my sponge, by the way. Since my foundation has been sitting on my face, and I haven't set it like with powder or anything, it might be kind of settling into fine lines and stuff. So I'm just running my sponge back over it. And then from here, since my brows are going to be my main focus of like color, I'm just going to do a really nice big cat eye and a lot of lashes. So I'm just going in with Urban Decay eyeshadow primer on my eyelid and just working it in with my fingertips. Like I said, I'm not doing a lot of eyeshadow at all. I'm just doing a big cat eye. So I'm just setting that primer with a matte shade that matches my skin tone. And then I'm just tracing where my eyeliner is going to go. I find it to be pretty foolproof and to get the cat eyes to match. And I am using NYC liquid eyeliner in black. It is drugstore eyeliner and it is absolutely amazing. I love the applicator. I love how it stays matte and how it just stays throughout the whole day. And I am just using the brush to kind of help me get the nice crisp line on top of the eyelid. This is just how I like to go about eyeliner. I just do the top of my eye and then I just trace, well, where I did trace where my eyeliner is going to go, I just go back over that line. And then I do make my wing pretty dramatic. You do what you're comfortable with and just kind of connect them a little bit lower than the tip so it looks a little bit more sharp and crisp at the end. To get the shape that I want. And then I just fill in that triangle. So now using NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the lightest shade Chantilly, I am going underneath my eyes to conceal and also brighten. And then I'm also using that as a highlighter going down the center of my nose, around my nose because I do sometimes get redness around there, in the middle of my chin and in the center of my forehead. And yeah, that's looking like a good highlighted face, alright. And then just going back in with that damp Real Technique sponge, I'm just working in that concealer all over my face, just blending it in effortlessly. And then I'm using the Mercier translucent setting powder to go over that and to prevent any creasing or anything like that and just keep it matte throughout the whole day. And I am using my little cosmetic sponge. You can get a pack of these pretty cheaply at any kind of beauty store, Ulta, Sally's, Walmart even, or Target. And this is what you would call, I guess, baking. Just applying a crap ton of that powder underneath your eyes. And then at the very end, you're going to dust it away, if that makes sense. But on the rest of my face, I set it with Rimmel Stay Matte Powder, and I literally just use a big fluffy brush, maybe dip it in there twice, and then it's ready to go. And now I am contouring my face with Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I'm using the two lightest to darkest shades, if that makes sense. So the one on the left bottom corner and then the one in the middle. And I'm just carving out my face. Contouring is to pretty much bring dimension back into your face, give you some cheekbones, give you some definition. I never did contour my nose, but now that I do, like I look in the mirror sometimes and I'm like, oh my god, did I get a nose job? No, I just contoured the fuck out of my nose today. And now I'm just sharpening up that contour with that cosmetic sponge and some of that translucent powder, just crisping up that edge very nicely. Like, did I have cheekbones before? I don't know, but I sure do now. So moving on to blush, I'm using these two shades from a BH Cosmetics palette that I have, and a Real Techniques blush brush, just applying them on the apples of my cheeks. Then using a stippling brush, dipped into some of that Rimmel Stay Matte powder. I'm just buffing out the excess powder that I have around my face, and also blending in that contour into my face, because we don't want a harsh line. We want everything to be blended seamlessly together. I'm using a light hand around my eye though to remove the excess Laura Mercier powder, and then going across my forehead where that contour is, just to make sure everything is blended very nicely around my hairline and everything, that nothing is left untouched, because blending is your best friend when it comes to contouring. We don't want a harsh line because that just ends up looking dirty. I'm just retouching up my blush right there to make it a little bit more pinky. Then going in with one of my favorite highlighters. This is Becca's Moonstone. And I am just applying highlight to the high points of my cheeks, down the bridge of my nose. And I don't think I filmed it, but I do also highlight my Cupid's bow. And there is that beautiful highlight in action, how it just catches the light so effortlessly. So now I am just making sure all of my brow hairs stay in place with some clear brow gel by Anastasia. And the lashes I am using are Ardell Double Up in 206. I'm just flexing around the band a little bit right there and using Duo Lash Adhesive in clear white. And I have used these lashes probably like 2 times before now. You want to wait and make sure the lash glue is tacky, and I apply it from the center and then I work the ends of the lash in. And I use tweezers. I find that my nails sometimes are too long to get into the tiny bits, and then I just press the band, just kind of tap it down. And here's the difference of lashes and no lashes. I didn't quite film a proper outro, I guess, but this is the finished look, guys, with both lashes on, and the lipstick I'm wearing is ColourPop Matte Liquid Lipstick in Bieber. I'm going to go before she knocks over the camera and before it dies, and I'm going to charge my battery. Okay, bye!